Hi, I'm Phil, the Elder Millennial. Today I want to talk to you about retirement. You know, for a long time, I felt like I would never retire because I didn't want to retire. I did not want to just sit on the beach with some little drink with a little umbrella and waste away. So I decided that I was going to work until I died and that I was going to find something that I really enjoyed and just continue doing it forever. But what I realized eventually was retirement is not about just not doing anything. It's not just about wasting away or finding a place in Florida where you can just watch the sunset and stop your life. Retirement is about freedom. Real retirement is about independence. At some point in my life, I decided I did want to become independent. And what that meant was I could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And that might mean working a job that I enjoy or that I like. It might mean taking some time to do something. But what it did not mean was having to do something that I did not want to do. And so the first thing I had to change in my way of thinking was that retirement is not just about doing nothing. Retirement is about doing what you want to do. So that was my first change. And from that point, I realized in order to get to that station in life, I needed to become financially free, because financial freedom equals independence. And once you're independent, you can do whatever you want. On the road to financial freedom, you're going to find a couple of road signs that kind of tell you you're on your way. I've got 5 road signs. I call them my 5 road signs on the road to financial freedom or financial independence. The first road sign on the path to financial freedom is having a balanced budget. And that means your income does not exceed your outgo, or your upkeep will be your downfall. That was a little phrase I learned a long time ago. But essentially, whatever you're making and whatever you owe or whatever your costs are have to be in balance. You can't spend more than you make. You can take on debt to be able to do something you want to do temporarily, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be successful and independent if you're always out of balance. So you need to develop a budget, whatever that means to you, whatever tools that you need, and there's a lot of them out there, but the first thing is starting with a balanced budget. Number 2, you need to have health insurance. One of the leading causes of bankruptcy is a medical crisis, an emergency that takes you out financially. And there are many ways and tools to get health insurance. You can get it through your employer. If you can't get it there, you can go to the marketplace and get it there. You have to have health insurance. Number 1 cause of financial failure is because of medical expenses that are unforeseen. So you need to consider that a priority. And that's why I listed as one of the 5 main things you need to do to be financially independent. Number 3, you need to have an emergency fund. Emergencies are going to come up. Unexpected expenses are going to happen. Things that you're not prepared for are coming your way. You need to have an emergency fund, and you need to start planning for that today. If you don't have an emergency fund, it is an emergency. An emergency fund, most financial planners or experts will tell you, is somewhere between 6 and 8 months or 3 to 6 months of your expenses covered in a savings account that you can easily and readily access in the event of an emergency. So you don't want to have that kind of money in the stock market or somewhere where it's tied up. Real estate is not an emergency fund. An inheritance that you haven't received yet is not an emergency fund. Your house is not an emergency fund. What is an emergency fund is a savings or a checking account or some sort of liquid cash that you can access, hopefully that you're making some interest on, but some sort of liquid cash that you can access in the event of an emergency. 3 to 6 months is a good place to start. It's not easy. Make it a priority. You're going to have to save for it. You're going to have to cut some expenses, and maybe you realize you can't afford some things until you get that emergency fund. But I promise you, if you have an emergency and you encounter a situation where you have to start borrowing money, you're going to regret it, and you're going to be behind, and you may never be able to get back to square one. That's what I'm trying to express to my generation, the millennials right now, is if you start today, you can achieve financial independence. An emergency fund is a key element of that. Number 4, I highly recommend that you plan your life in a way that you don't have to incur debt except for where absolutely necessary. And that includes student loans, that includes a mortgage, that includes car debt. It's pretty hard to buy a house without a mortgage. I understand that. All of the homes I've ever purchased were a result of having a mortgage. And that kind of debt isn't the worst thing in the world. But what is pretty bad is credit card debt. Medical debt's also pretty bad. Educational debt follows you for the rest of your life. You cannot discharge it in bankruptcy. So that's why I kind of say it's better to avoid it. But if you're going to be financially independent, you're not going to be able to owe other people money, or else you're always going to be in a situation where you have to pay that bill. If you don't, they're going to come take something, or it's going to be a problem. So you're never fully free if you are owing somebody else money. And it's always going to preoccupy your thinking. Actually, all these points that I'm bringing up, all 5 of these pillars, are things that your way of thinking will change when you have them under control. You will make different decisions. You'll make better decisions. I think you'll live a more peaceful life, a more purposeful life, and a life of independence. Number 5, you need to plan for the future, and that means creating a savings that is for the future. And I'm talking about retirement funds. I'm talking about saving for large expenses. You can determine in your own life what makes sense as far as how much the threshold should be for creating a savings fund. But if you're going to buy a house, or you're going to buy a large expense, or you plan to retire, and the whole purpose of this video is to recommend that you think that way, you need to have a retirement account, you need to have a savings account, plan for those things in the future. You need to start thinking now about those things, especially over your lifetime, and begin planning and saving for them. And all these things might mean that today you have to cut a little bit, or you have to you have to drill down and really find out what's a priority and cut out the things that aren't. You become a different person when you have the financial freedom to make decisions, not based on what you have to do, but based on what you want to do. You might find you actually really enjoy your job a whole lot more when you don't have to worry about living paycheck to paycheck. You might find that you want to keep working and do what you want to do, but you also might find that you need to take some more time for vacation, or do more things with your family, or change the job that you're in because of your stress. So keep those things in mind. I hope that this video helped you. If it did, and you know somebody else that it might also help, I'd appreciate it if you would share it with them. And if you like this content, feel free to subscribe. I'm not out here to chase clicks or views. I'm actually here to help people. And I hope this content is helping you. And if it is, go ahead and comment and let me know. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I will be sure to answer them. But I really appreciate you watching. I hope you got something out of this. And if you have an idea that you want to add to it, drop it down there in the comments. Thank you very much, and you know what to do.